Okay, so American Horror Story Coven episodes 4 and 5. To quickly recap what I thought about the first 3 episodes, in case you're watching this and you don't know what I thought about the first 3 episodes. Episodes 1 and 2 I thought were disappointing. The third one was pretty good though. I like the third one. So I don't think this video is going to go on for very long. I just don't have much to say about these 2 episodes. So especially when compared to my other American Horror Story videos where I tend to ramble on for quite a while. This one's not going to be that long. Okay, so episode 4, let's begin with that. I liked this episode as well, pretty good, like episode 3. Yeah, so what did I like about it? Like, I don't know, it's just, you know, it kept my attention throughout, unlike episodes 1 and 2. So this was like more of a character episode. The story wasn't really progressed much. It kind of focused more on the characters and just like developing them and revealing their backstories a bit more. So like Spaulding's backstory, Jessica Lange's backstory, and Francis Conroy's backstory, like they were like kind of elaborated on a bit more. And you know, the flashbacks were like, their backstories are interesting, so it was like entertaining to watch. I was like invested, like I did invest my full like attention to the flashbacks and everything. So, so I guess that's why I like this episode. Like, I don't know, it's just a pretty good episode. That's really all I have to say. I was interested, it held my attention, and like episodes 1 and 2. It ends on a pretty good cliffhanger with, you know, the zombie invasion thing. That was a good cliffhanger. Sarah Paulson, yeah, Fiona's, no, I can't remember. I don't know what Sarah Paulson's character's name is. I can't remember her character's name. But the husband of Sarah Paulson's character, you know, even he got more interested in this, because like before then we didn't really know anything about him, but they kind of dropped like a little bombshell about his character, which makes him like infinitely more fascinating than what he was before. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say. It was just like just entertaining. Like, you know, it was interesting hearing about the characters. Their backstories were interesting. That's really what I have to say. Oh, one thing I did like though was the whodunit mystery. Because that's one thing which I was I'm disappointed about with this season. Like season 1 and 2 both had like a serial killer whose identity we don't know. Like so as the season goes on, the serial killer is like killing a bunch of people and wreaking havoc throughout the season. And then you know throughout the season you're kind of pondering over the identity of the killer, and then you find out who the killer is like towards the end of each season. Like Murder House had Rubberman and Asylum had Bloodyface. That's one thing I'm disappointed about with Coven though. We don't really have a serial killer whose identity we can you know, have fun with trying to figure out. Like, I know we got Axeman being introduced in episode 6, but his identity isn't going to be a secret. Like, it's Danny Houston. Like, it's not like Rubberman or Bloodyface where you don't know who the killer is. You know who Axeman is right off the bat, so it's not as if we can have fun with his character. Like, you know, I'm sure his character will be a lot of fun, but there's no whodunit mystery, which is what I kind of like about these serial killers in the American Horror Story series, I guess. But we kind of have a mini like whodunit mystery at the end of this episode though, because you know someone gets acid thrown in their face, and who threw the acid, we don't see their face. So that's kind of like the beginning of a little mini whodunit mystery. Like, it's not like a big, like really engaging, interesting mystery like Rubberman or Bloodyface, but you know, it's nice that they have some sort of whodunit mystery starting here, because you know that's what I really liked about the first 2 seasons, and this is as close as we're ever going to get to a whodunit in Coven. I don't know, because I thought like Ryan Murphy would make it so every single season would have a serial killer whose identity we can have fun, you know, trying to figure out, and we find out who they are towards the end. And I guess he has other things in mind, because of course season 3 doesn't have one of these serial killers whose identity is a secret. So that's one thing I'm really disappointed by. So like this is like the closest we're going to get to it. So that's one thing I liked about the episode as well. The gore effects in the opening scene were pretty good with the zombies, not to go into too much detail or spoilers. But, you know, the opening scene basically involves zombies killing a bunch of people, and yet the special effects were pretty good. The gore, you know, gore-wise, they were good. That's really all I have to say. So episode 4, pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. Probably, I think I liked it more than episode 3. Maybe it's on par with episode 3, I'll say that. Certainly, you know, better than episode 1 and 2, obviously. So onwards with episode 5. Once again, I like this episode quite a bit. I would say it's on par with episode 3 and 4. Yeah. Okay, so This episode features zombies, voodoo zombies, or whatever you want to call them, quite heavily, like throughout the majority of the episode. The makeup on them is pretty good, you know, it feels pretty, well, just, you know, really good. Like, they certainly top the Walking Dead zombies. Like, you know, the makeup for these zombies is infinitely better than the zombies from the Walking Dead. I really hate the Walking Dead anyway. Like, it's a bad TV show. Like, in my opinion, of course. I just think it's a terrible show. But having said that, I will kind of defend the Walking Dead here, because although I said like the zombies sure look really impressive, especially when compared to the Walking Dead zombies, but the thing is, with the Walking Dead, there's like hundreds of zombies in that show, and I kind of understand why the zombies look really lame in that show, because, you know, because there's so many of them, the makeup team can't really spend too much time on, you know, with the makeup. They can't really do like an amazing job with the makeup, because there's like hundreds of extras playing zombies. So it would just, you know, take up way too much time. They don't have the time to make sure the makeup is top notch in every single zombie, because, you know, some scenes have quite a lot of zombies in The Walking Dead. So I do understand why the makeup wouldn't be as good as there is in American Horror Story, because like these zombies are really for this one episode, and there's only like 10 of them anyway. So I do understand why the makeup is better on the zombies in this show as opposed to The Walking Dead. Like I hate The Walking Dead, like I said, but I'm just saying, I will give The Walking Dead some leeway in that respect, because they have far more zombies in that show. So the makeup team can't really afford to do a top-notch job in every single zombie. So I will give it a bit of leeway there, even though I dislike it. But yeah, so like I said, the makeup on the zombies in this, they look great. Yeah. Okay. So Kathy Bates, I'm not sure, it's a bit of a spoiler. I think I'll go into that a bit later. It was just basically, I was kind of confused about one thing in this episode involving Kathy Bates' character, which I don't think really made much sense. They didn't really explain it, and I don't think they are going to explain it in future episodes. But yeah, like, I don't know what happened there. I'll clarify it in the spoiler section. The ending ended on a really good cliffhanger, like shit's gonna go down, it looks like. Yeah, the cliffhanger was pretty effective. One thing about American Horror Story, which I always loved saying, was that, you know, the special effects are always great. When it comes to the creature effects or the gore effects, they are always like amazing. Here in this episode, like, I'm not talking about the zombies. The zombies look fine, but some of the, okay, basically someone gets burned to death in this episode, and when they burn to death, it looks like bad. Like, the fire is probably one of the worst. Like, it's not the worst CGI fire I've ever seen, but it's up there with, you know, one of the worst CGI fires like I've ever seen. It's not the worst, but it's like up there. Okay, so as I was saying, it's not the worst CGI fire I've ever seen in a movie / TV show, but it's up there. It looked bad. So that's one thing I'm kind of disappointed by. I can no longer say like every single special effect in American Horror Story is amazing. I guess I can always say that every single like monster or creature special effect has been amazing. They haven't really let us down in that regard yet. Mind you, I guess fire doesn't really count as gore wise. It's kind of just like as a misc special effect, I guess. I don't know, but that's one thing I was kind of like really disappointed by. That fire looked bad, you know. One thing about this episode again, Zoe, like I said, her character seems to be like just, well, she hasn't made smart decisions, let's say, throughout this season so far. And she continues in this episode. It was just like this one moment, basically a bunch of characters are kind of cornered by the voodoo zombies. So Zoe, she basically distracts the voodoo zombies to save, you know, the characters' lives who are being cornered by the zombies. So she grabs like this dustpan and, I don't know, knife or something like that. She starts like rattling them together to attract the attention of the zombies. So they all turn towards her because, you know, they're hearing the sound, and then they start walking towards her, and she just stands there and lets the zombies approach her. And that's like, she basically just lets them approach her to the point where they've almost got her cornered, and that's when she begins running. And as a result, she's kind of trapped inside a tool shed. Like, why wouldn't you just start running as soon as the zombies start approaching you? But like there's, of course, the zombies walk slow as well, so like she's kind of just standing there, and then the zombies start walking towards her at their slow pace. She stands there watching, and then as they start getting closer, she's like, oh, maybe I should run now, and then she starts running, and because she started running too late, she ends up getting trapped in this tool shed. Right, I just thought that was just really lame. So it's either just poorly staged, or I don't know, they should have filmed that a bit better. I guess it was just poorly choreographed, I guess. I'm not sure if this is a spoiler or not. Nah, it's not really a spoiler. Basically, a scene or sequence in this episode involves a chainsaw, and several people get sliced up by this chainsaw. Yeah, like I heard about this before this episode aired. Like they said in one of the interviews that you know, the special effects team were basically bragging about how, you know, in one episode a bunch of people get cut up by a chainsaw, and they were basically saying, you know, get hyped for that because the special effects are amazing in this scene. Like the way we rigged the blood and everything, it looks great. So I was getting like excited for this scene, you know, because I knew it was in episode 5 because they said so. So when the chainsaw scene finally came about, I was really disappointed by it. I mean, the way it's shot, it's kind of shot so like, it basically, I guess maybe it's the editing, the editor is responsible for this, but the editing is really rapid and quick. Like they keep cutting every like 1 or 2 seconds, so you don't really get to, sometimes it's kind of difficult to tell what just happened when, like, you know, these 5 people get cut up with the chainsaw like straight, like one after another, and the camera keeps cutting to another shot every second, so it's kind of difficult to kind of tell what is going on when, you know, they're getting cut up with the chainsaw sometimes. And even when you can tell what's going on, you can't really appreciate the blood work or like the special effects because the camera's cutting so suddenly, so you can't even like admire the special effects, the gore effects. So that's one thing I was disappointed by. I don't know, maybe they decided to go for these really quick, fast cuts every second because the gore effects weren't good enough. Like, I don't know, maybe the gore effects like looked pretty bad, so they decided to keep cutting every second to try and like hide the bad gore effects maybe. I don't know, I'm just like making suggestions here, but I really disliked the option for them to, like, you know, cut really quickly. So I'm just thinking maybe they decided to cut really quickly because the special effects were pretty bad. Because obviously if the camera lingers on the special effects and it's a bad special effect, obviously the longer the camera lingers on for it, the more chance you have of thinking, oh, that looks pretty bad actually. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was just disappointed by the chainsaw scene. I guess I don't really have much else to say. You know, it was just a fun episode. The zombie action was fun. We got some good scenes between Jessica Lange and Sarah Paulson's husband. I really should start learning the characters' names now. Oh yeah, and there was also a pretty funny moment towards the end as well with Spaulding, because, you know, a main character got killed in episode 3, and Spaulding is kind of keeping that character's body as like a doll to like amuse himself with. I thought that there's kind of like a funny moment towards the end of the episode where he kind of keeps the body in a chest in the attic or something like that, and I don't know, I'm not sure if it's a spoiler, but basically he tries to pull the body out and something happens. I thought that was a funny moment. I don't really have anything else to say. Like I said before, the ending was pretty cool. I like the ending. Oh yeah, one more thing I'll get as well about Zoe's character. So Misty, aka, well, you know, Lily Rabe's character is Misty, the one that can bring people back to life. She kind of helped Evan Peters' revival. His character is Kyle, so I guess I'll just refer to Evan Peters as Kyle. So Misty helps bring Kyle back to life. And you know, before she left, Zoe promised to like return to, you know, just to see Misty again, because Misty is kind of lonely. She doesn't really have anyone to kind of talk to. So Teresa Farmiga's character Zoe kind of promised to go back to Misty and like just, you know, see her, like how are things doing, just to talk to her, because Misty helped Kyle, helped bring him back to life, made his, you know, the process a bit more comfortable for him, I guess. You know, she applied all that lotion stuff to his cuts and wounds. So it's just that Zoe hasn't like visited Misty since. I thought, I don't know, Zoe's a bit of a bitch, I think. I don't think the writers are intending to make Zoe out to be like a dumb character or an unlikable character. The way she's been written though, they are unintentionally making her an unlikable character. Like I think they forgot to make Zoe go back and like talk to Misty again. So I guess it's more the writer's fault. I don't think this is the writers are intending her character to be stupid or unlikable, but that's just the way she's been made out to be because of the writing. That's just the way I feel about it. I will say the next episode looks awesome. Danny Houston as the Axeman. You see him for like a few seconds in the promo for the trailer for the next episode, and he looks like amazing. He looks hilarious in it. I can't wait to see that. A lot of people were saying online, so sure, Danny Houston, he looks fun as the Axeman, but how much cooler would it be if Bruce Campbell was playing the Axeman? I was like, that's genius. Imagine, I guess Bruce Campbell is too high profile for a show like this. I guess I can't imagine him agreeing to appear in a show like this. You know, I don't know. He's quite a high profile actor, so I just can't imagine him agreeing to come to a show like this, no matter how much money they pay him. So, and just the thought of him playing the Axeman is just like an amazing idea. Just imagine that for a second. That would be cool. But, you know, we're never going to get that, but you can dream. But yeah, either way, you know, I'm sure Danny Houston will do a great job as the Axeman. The next episode looks pretty awesome from that trailer. Let's hope it doesn't disappoint. So, episode 5, I would say it's on par with episodes 4 and 3. It doesn't quite top like it doesn't quite none of these episodes, in my opinion, quite reach the better episodes of Asylum, but you know, they're still good. They are good episodes. They are entertainments. So let's hope episode 6 is as awesome as these ones, if not better. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. So that's it. Episodes 4 and 5, they are on par with episode 3, which I also liked. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, that's it. See ya.